If you're working on a personal project that needs to connect to a PostgreSQL database, Render is a pretty good provider that allows to host Progress or other services free for 3 months. I'm going to show you how this works in this video. So I'm currently already logged into Render. Let me go to dashboard. Render only allows you to create 2 services if you are on free account, so I need to delete my Postgres database first. Now we're going to create a new Postgres database from scratch. I'm going to choose the same name as my previous database. And then we're going to choose the region that is in Singapore. For free account, you only have one choice. That is the free plan. Please note that here, the free database will expire in 90 days. So you need to kind of migrate to other services or create a new one out of 3 months. Then we're going to click the Create Database button. Awesome, our database is ready. In the top right corner, there is a Connect button. When we click, there is a drop-down menu. Here's where we can find our connections information. So there's 2 options. First is internal connection, that is connected from the apps within Render. What we need here is the external connection. So we have 2 choices here as well. First one, external database URL. Second one, Postgres command. We're going to try the second one first, where we will connect to our database with command line. I'm going to copy the second string and then switch to my terminal. This is the connection to my previous database. I need to exit out of here first. And then we paste the string we copied from Render. Now we will connect to our new database, where here we can perform SQL command. I have a chat with AI before. I need to copy the SQL command. For this one, we're going to create a table called user, and there is 3 columns. First ID, and username, email, and created at. Okay, our table user is created successfully. So at the moment, there's 0 rows. And then we're going to create a new record, a new user. Let me find the right command. Okay, this one, insert query. We're going to insert a new user called John Doe, and there's email john@example.com. We're going to select the user and then see we have 1 record, John Doe user in our database. Okay, moving on, let's see how we can connect to Postgres in our Node.js app. Let's see the package.json. We need to install PG package. That stands for Postgres. And for this app, client-side codes, we have a routes register component where user can register an account. So inside this component, we have a form and few web components. When the form is submitted, we call this validate method. And then inside validate, we verify if this username is available. Then we fetch this npm API endpoint, API user username. And then we check the server code. For the username, is this line. We call a callback handle available username, and then we go back to that file. At this step, we create the database for this username, see if it's available or not. In this file, we need to create a new pool and add the connection string to the connection string we copy from the Render dashboard. The first one. We copy the string, and then we need to store that in the environment variable file, .env file. We add a new record here in Postgres connection URI, and then we delete the old one and save the file. Now let's get back to the query file, query.js. Since we are developing locally, we need to configure the SSL certificate. If you're not on production environment, we can turn off the SSL certificate. Otherwise, vendor won't allow you to connect to Postgres database. Now we can run the client-side dev server, and then we can run the Express server as well. Okay, let's test in the front end. We are on localhost 5173 port. Okay, let's go to sign-up form. Previously, we have entered a record called John Doe user into our database. So let's try a new username, let's say Brandon, and we'll go check how the server responds. We open up the network panel. I'm going to create a submit the form, register. Also, we see our server came back with 200 success code. We check the response as available true, so this user can be registered into our database. Awesome, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can add that in the comments below.